when we partnered with Engage, and our partnership centered around our third grade reading initiative. And the first thing we did was we got a group of teachers from every single campus at the elementary level. For us, that's 33 campuses, from every campus, and they did their own research around the problem. You shift the culture, you move it away from what it was in terms of compliance. Here's how it plays out. And we walk into a kindergarten teacher's classroom today, in many cases that kindergarten teacher will come up to us and we will not have asked a single question. She will tell us where her kids are in terms of on-grade reading.
And ours actually came out of the Strategic Facilities Master Plan. We kind of asserted that instruction should drive construction. We turned the conversation into a learning model conversation, and Charlie brought on Engage to Learn, and we started that idea in terms of what are your greatest hopes and dreams for the learning of students in Fort Worth.
We started with our strategic plan and really trying to define the learner experience in every classroom in Arlington that was necessary for the students to be successful and be able to compete in the world. And so when we looked at that learner experience, we were very intentional about defining that.
These leaders actually know how to translate that vision into reality.
So we leveraged coaching as a way of facilitating the shift in our culture by giving teachers a space to set goals around best practices and to have a coach sit side by side with them to help them in their implementation and just talk openly about what was working and what wasn't working.
And so we chose teachers who were rock stars, we chose teachers that were middle of the road, and we chose teachers that were struggling. And we've seen tremendous growth from our teachers and from our students. We're certainly not where we want to be. It takes a while, but as we've done that, we've actually built in a model of sustainability.
And I like what Beth was saying in terms of, coaching is not just for Tier 3 teachers or Tier 3 schools, right? And you don't want to give that impression because then you don't end up with a growing learning culture, right? That's the idea.
When we visit with teachers, just anecdotally, they will tell us that they feel more empowered to do the work, that they know the needs of their students. They're the expert in that classroom, not us at central office. And so they feel empowered to do the work that they were destined to do or wanted to do.
Glencrest 6 is in its third year of improvement requirement. And so it was kind of a no-brainer for us when we went in and established a transformation zone and needed a change model that Glencrest 6 would be on the list. It was absolutely striking the change in classroom culture at that campus. There was a high level of student engagement. Before, when I had walked Glencrest 6, just as a basis of comparison, it was not unusual at all for a teacher to be at a Promethean teaching and very few eyes on that teacher at all. And the change at Glencrest this time was absolutely striking. I didn't walk in a single classroom that was a teacher-driven classroom. Every one of them, the kids understood their role. They understood what they were supposed to be achieving for the day. They were able to self-monitor and self-direct. All of the things that you look for as change that is productive are the things that we found that day.
And in Arlington, for us, that journey is the imperative. That is the thing we're trying to focus on. We feel like it's a moral obligation for us. And so for us, the biggest shift has really been the shift of ownership to students and the level and quality of collaboration with teachers around best practices, where I would say we've seen a lot of the change happen. And I think this whole process has allowed us to really dive deep into what best practices are, what they look like, and then how do you coach and also provide the tools and resources to help people implement their teaching and learning process in the classroom from a best practice standpoint.
What we see is alignment that is becoming clearer and clearer, both by action and by design, right? How do you implement things and all this sort of things that can be obviously complex. I think fundamentally is when you think about the type of experience you want students to have in your system, and really give that some thought and collaborate around that, both with research but also with your own local expectation. it will be kind of your driver.
The model of leadership has to flow into your teachers. They have to become leaders in an ownership culture. They cannot just be recipients of principal oversight. They actually have to be invested. And that is one of the areas where I think we can create sustainability in whatever model it is you're trying to pursue. If you can really build an investment in the part of your teachers and what is happening and give them the authority to do it, but build their capacity to be that leader. I know a lot of you do that through professional learning communities or different structures, however you talk about it. But I think the failure in sustainability often lies in the idea that we treat it as a hierarchy, that it's central office, campus principal. You've got to build leadership through the whole system if you're really going to sustain whatever it is, the model that you're trying to create.
If in fact what we're doing is preparing students for success in college, career, and life, and all of our mission statements, you need to only listen to what the community wants, and the community really rallied around it. And to this day, I'll go to chamber meetings or events in the city, and folks will say, "Don't you drift from that learning model."
If you're leaving, then applaud for these amazing leaders before you walk out. Nobody Great.